Home is where you feel comfortable and safe and secure.
I come home and I find peace.
You just kind of be yourself and recharge until you face the world again.
Home to me means a refuge.
I was raised in Massachusetts. I met my husband in 1961, right before high school graduation. I'm a retired art teacher now, and I sing in the choir. I need things for my spirit and neighbors and family that support me because it's a difficult time. But I'm very glad for HomeShare. It's really helped me through the years.
I work in nonprofit. I'm a crisis clinician. I'm moving to Vermont last year. Was quite different to living in Europe, where most of my life I had been. I was just looking for housing resources, and I came across HomeShare, and it sounded very refreshing. There are so many other benefits of HomeShare, for example, socially, physically, even spiritually.
So he'll come home from work, which is after I've eaten. I'll say, welcome home.
A lot of our support is around kind of listening to each other's, how our days have been. Humor is important to both of us, so we're always looking at the positive side of life.
Even if he's had a hard day, he smiles, and after we've shared stories, we end up with laughs, and often belly laughs. Javi's been here only for 3 months. It's hard to believe. But at one point he said, I would love to make art, and could we do quilting?
I think I'm learning that I have an artist in me, which is yet to be discovered. So something that is kind of untapped, and I'm curious how it evolves through this experience of being around Nancy.
He's 45, I'm 81, and somehow the two souls got together and we kind of match up.
I've been married, I have 6 kids. I got divorced at some point, but I'm proud of my kids. I was a caregiver 6 years. And then someone suggested I check out HomeShare because I basically had no place to go.
I've lived here for 32 years in this house. I purchased it at public auction, and all this land out here was just pasture land. I made it into lawn and planted the apple trees. I'm living alone, and I can't get around. My legs are so bad. My knees have gone out on me. And with arthritis in my hands, I can't hold things. I can't cook.
Our arrangement is cooking supper, and then helping him around the house. Take him it's usually a couple times a week. We go into Middlebury or Virginia's. But there's a lot of little things I can do, and I want to for him. Because he's in a lot of pain sometimes, and if I can make it easier for him, I will.
They said it would go 50-50 if I wanted. I said, no, Rat. That's my own choosing. I got to pay utilities anyway. As long as he doesn't squander them, I don't care. I appreciate him enough I'm willing to do that.
In good weather, he sits in his garage out here in the chair, and he watches people, and everybody knows him. I've never met anybody like that. He's very generous with people. I consider him a friend. I hope he does me too.
Yeah, I guess I would. I trust him, and I guess that's a big part of having a friend. Somebody you can trust.
I'm Richard. I've lived in this house in Williston for 33 years. For most of the time, till my wife died, there were 2 of us here. It's a nice place, but it gets lonely. The only thing is it's got 4 bedrooms, I've got 3 floors, and it's nice to have other people utilize it with me.
I was living in
Huntington at the time, and that was much more of a commute than I wanted to have. I started to think about where I would want to live, and I didn't want to move in with, 6 20-somethings, and the Vermont housing situation is rough, is really rough.
I was kind of worried about how do I vet someone if I'm going to have a renter, and it was great that we had HomeShare doing all that vetting for you and making sure things were going to work.
And Kathy, who was the volunteer who matched Richard and me, immediately thought of Richard when she and I were talking, because he had been okay with animals in the past.
And this is Ferdinand, Aaron's cat, and my adopted cat. Ferdy is an interesting personality in his own right, but when I interviewed with Aaron before we made a final decision, I asked her to bring the cat over and see if we would all get along, because after my cats had died, I hadn't had any animals in here for a number of years. Ferdy came in and sniffed around a bit and decided that I was okay, and I decided he was okay. So.
It took him maybe about 10 seconds before he approached Richard and started rubbing his legs and looking for attention from him. And it was almost an immediate, yes, this is okay, this will work. I would say that Richard and I are proof that you can be very introverted and still have somebody live in your house and have it be a great thing.
I think both of us have gotten a little more extroverted from our introverting because we've been able to work with each other and mesh so well that I can't imagine not having her here at this point.
HomeShare has given me confidence. And I told Javier when he comes home from his stressful job that this place will be a place of peace for him too.
The cliche is home is where the heart is, but it's not just a house, it's a feeling of belonging and part of something that you share with someone else.
Try it. If you like the person to start with, your first feelings are usually the right ones.